so much for coming. I appreciate it. I feel like I know everybody sitting in our audience today, but I'm Laura Loveday. I'm the Special Projects and Grants Administrator for Culpeper County. I could not be more excited about these two projects, the Carver Auditorium and the trails at Lenn Park. I think for me, what's most exciting about these two projects is that they really encourage a whole lot of interaction with the citizens of Culpeper County. If you're aware, last year's community project funding grant supported an ambulance. So that's a project where we want to discourage interaction with our citizens and the ambulance. But we're thrilled. We're happy to have Representative Spanberger with us here today. And I get to sit down and listen, and that makes me excited. So if you mind, Representative Abigail Spanberger.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. I am excited to be here today in Culpeper County at the beautiful Lenn Park to celebrate the more than $600,000 that is now coming to this community. I want to begin by thanking every one of the Culpeper County officials, leaders, community members who are with us today who helped to ensure that we had the information that we needed to help get this funding request across the finish line. I want to thank the Culpeper County Board of Supervisors, including Supervisors David Durr and Susan Gugino, and Chairman Paul Bates. Thank you for your continued leadership. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your support as we endeavored to make this possible. I want to thank everyone from the George Washington Carver Regional High School Alumni Association who is here. Thank you for continuing to be valuable partners, both for my team and for me, and thank you for all that you do for the Culpeper community. Thank you to Parks and Rec. Thank you to Parks and Recreation Director Andrew Hardy and Christy Mosley from Culpeper County 4-H. Thank you for the work that you all do both to support the community and the work that you did to help get these community requested projects through. I'm so grateful for all of the work that you all bring to us to help ensure that my team, my office, that we're able to clearly and concisely articulate the real needs of Culpeper County on Capitol Hill as we go through the appropriations process. The investments that we are celebrating here today would not have been possible without the planning, the advocacy, and the leadership of local community leaders and organizational leaders. And so we're here to celebrate the impact that these federal dollars will have on Culpeper, impacts in improving our spaces for community residents to hold educational events, to gather together, and to spend time outdoors, soaking in this region's beauty. And over the past few years, my team and I have worked with Culpeper County to deliver hundreds of thousands of dollars of federal dollars to revitalize and repair the Carver Center. And we've been so proud to continue working with the county to expand the use of that fantastic space. And I'm grateful that the Carver Center has hosted us so many times over when we've brought speakers and we've brought roundtables. It's truly a community resource, and I'm grateful that I've been able to participate in the good utilization of such a wonderful community resource. And over the last year, I've been proud that we helped secure more than $130,000 to bring this beautiful space here at Lenn Park up to ADA standards and make sure that all Culpeper residents and Virginians across the region can enjoy this beautiful park's amenities. Since arriving in Congress, one of my top priorities has been to make sure that, the taxpayers of Culpeper County see a return on investment, and when there are federal dollars meant to help community spaces get strengthened or public safety priorities met, I want to make sure that Culpeper and the communities I represent are right at the top of the list in receiving those federal grant dollars. And so this year we worked with Culpeper to figure out what you all needed, frankly, to listen, and Culpeper, as always, was quite clear in letting us know what is needed here. And so I'm grateful for everyone's cooperation, diligence, and most importantly, patience. For those who were directly involved in this process, it's a back and forth process. Thank you so much Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a back and forth process and one that took a little bit longer than we would have liked, but in the end, hopefully, it will have all been worth it. Now that this funding is signed into law, we are investing in real identified needs here in Culpeper. The funding will help the Carver Center continue to be a hub for agricultural and educational programs, and it will help the center expand its ability to serve the community. This federal funding will also make sure that residents of all ages and abilities can enjoy the trails, the fields, the amphitheater, and the gardens here at the park. With these investments, we're investing in making the community a wonderful place to live and play and raise a family, and I'm really excited to see these projects come to life. And so with that, I want to begin by asking Jane Pollard to come forward. She is with the George Washington Carver Regional High School Alumni Association. I'm grateful for all the work that they do in the community, and thank you for continuing to be such an advocate for a wonderful piece of Culpeper history and a wonderful bright spot of Culpeper's future.
Good afternoon. I must admit, I wasn't expecting to be a speaker this afternoon. Some of you may know what it means to be voluntold. So I was voluntold, so here I am. I am a proud graduate of the class of 1965 of George Washington Carver Regional High School. And as such, I serve as the secretary for the Alumni Association and also as secretary for the Carver County Museum. And I am happy, I'm very proud of what has been done in Carver so far. I especially like the commercial kitchen. I love the museum. When I was in high school, it was just the library. But Mrs. Miller does a tremendous job of being a top-notch curator for us and always coming up with excellent exhibitions for us. So each time we have an exhibit, I have an opportunity to learn something new, which I like to share with each of the visitors that come to our museum. Hopefully, as the weather becomes more pleasant, we will have more museum traffic. But so far, we are open on Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. without reservations. If you happen to be traveling on Route 15, do stop in. We try to accommodate everyone who comes. And the doors are always open, and we welcome you. I thank you for listening, and now Mr. Durer is going to have a few words.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here today, have the opportunity to speak with you and to represent the Board of Supervisors. Take a look around us. It is a beautiful day. This is a beautiful park. We have many of them here in Culpeper, and I'd like to compliment Andrew. Where are you? There you are over here. You guys do a great job in putting these together and keeping the parks in great shape for all of our citizens. I'm going to talk a little bit now about the Carver Center, but before I do, I'm sort of losing my place. Congresswoman Spanberger, it is always good to see you in Culpeper. And I have to say, you're here fairly often, which is nice. Thank you for representing us in Congress, and also thank you very much for remembering us when federal funding is available. That is very key, and we appreciate that. So I want to talk a little bit now about the Carver Center. 76 years ago, the Carver Center opened as a high school for African American children in Culpeper, Rappahannock, Madison, and Orange counties. It was the first school of its kind in the state, and it was the only school of its kind in the state. It made a significant impact to the students who attended that school over that 20-year period that it was a high school. Today, the Carver Center is kind of a conglomeration of a number of organizations, and all of those organizations are focused on having an impact in this community. Currently, we have the George Washington Carver Ag Research Center, the Minority and Veteran Farmers of the Piedmont, the Rapidan River Master Gardeners, the Virginia Cooperative Extension Service, which works with Virginia Tech and Virginia State University. All of these organizations are working together to sustain, strengthen, and enhance agriculture in the Piedmont region of Virginia. In addition to those organizations I mentioned, we also have the Carver Food Enterprise Center. This is a 6,000 square foot commercial kitchen and a shared space. This is an area that has equipment and certifications where farmers can bring produce in and process it, preserve it, and enhance the value. It's a big deal. As we talk about how we preserve the rural character of Culpeper, one of the best ways to do that is to keep farms viable, to keep agriculture moving along and humming. This facility and the organizations that I just mentioned are all working together to do that. It's really important. And one more thing I want to mention. Several months back, there was a meeting of groups that were interested in the Carver Kitchen. There were over 100 people that attended this meeting. There is a huge demand for this facility. Some other groups are also working with us out at the Carver Center. The Carver Alumni Association is there. And Jane, I have to tell you, it's never just a library. Libraries are pretty important. The Friends of the Rappahannock, New Pathways Tech, we have a welding school that works together with Germanna Community College, and we have a meeting room for the 4-H clubs. All of this goes together, and they work together. And with the grant that we're receiving, the auditorium from the Carver High School will be refurbished, and it is just one more piece of that puzzle, which is making Carver a really, really important part of what's happening here in our region. Thank you very much. And Christy Mosley is next.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Laura, for asking me to speak today. My name is Christy Mosley, as he said, and I am the unit coordinator of Virginia Cooperative Extension here in Culpeper, as well as the 4-H extension agent. Been here about 17 years, proudly representing Culpeper in agriculture through 4-H. We have been a full-time tenant of the Carver Center with Virginia Cooperative Extension for 1 year this month, and it has changed the way we're able to serve the community. 4-H has been utilizing the old cafeteria space of the school for several years now, and that has just made our program bloom. It really has allowed an opportunity to have a space for much larger programs. In our old space, we had to kind of piece out our groups to any other church or bank or organization that could house us, and we've been able to offer such a wonderful opportunity for kids to have indoor and outdoor space for education. And that's what 4-H is. That's what Virginia Cooperative Extension is. It's about teaching our youth about leadership, citizenship, and life skills. And it doesn't matter what format we're using, whether it's year-round clubs, whether it's camps, whether it's workshops, educational talks. It's about promoting leadership, citizenship, and life skills. And when you think about the Carver Center and you think about back to George Washington Regional High School, you think about Piedmont Vocational School, and now the Carver Center in its current format, that's what it's about, is education and promoting education to Culpeper community and to our region. 4-H, we have been able, with the Carver Center, to host regional activities. We've had public speaking and presentation competitions. We have had food challenge competitions there from the whole district, where the kids not only cook a meal, but they also have to speak to judges about nutritional value and about safe food handling practices, and they're able to be judged there. We had a horse quiz bowl there for the whole district just recently with horse knowledge. So it doesn't matter the modality of what we're being able to offer, but just the large space has been able to give us that opportunity to reach more people within Culpeper County and within the region. And so with the addition of the auditorium, we're just looking forward, all of Virginia Cooperative Extension, all of our extension agents, and the various programs that we're able to hold, to be able to offer continued programming even more. And we are so grateful for this opportunity and for this continued support and funding of the Carver Center. Thank you. And I'm not sure who goes next. Is it you, Susan? Or you want to introduce?
Yep, I'm next. Hello, I'm Susan Gugino, supervisor for the Stevensburg district, and this lovely park is in my district. The Lenn Park was donated by the Lenn family, and this park includes a lot of amenities. You can see the softball fields, we have multiple playgrounds, this beautiful pavilion, trails, the pollinator garden, areas where people can fish, camp for the Boy Scouts, as well as our remote-controlled airplane group that you can see their little field down there. But I wanted to first thank Representative Spanberger for all of the community support that you've given us over the years for different projects, but also, more importantly, to the dedication that you've had to our area farmers with your farm visits during the Farm Bill and multiple visits for roundtables with Farm Bureau. You have no idea how much we appreciate the fact that somebody listens. So I wanted to thank you very much for that. This paving project is the first of our trails in the Culpeper County Trail Network that will be paved, which, making this wheelchair and stroller friendly, will open it up to a much more diverse, and more people will be able to utilize it. So we'll have just about under a half a mile of trails that will now be accessible to everyone. Some of the, no, that's not it. Okay. This wind is something else. There's actually not much left to say other than thank you so much for all the funding. And I can't wait till this gets started. And Andrew's coming up next, and we'll talk more about all the Parks and Rec activities. But I hear that it will be a very quick paving exercise. It is. So come on up, Andrew. Thank you.
How's everybody doing today? I would just like to mirror exactly what Supervisor Durr stated with, look how fortunate we are to be out here on this beautiful day with the beautiful park, listening to the birds chirp. Before I do jump into it, I would like to thank Representative Abigail Spanberger for the support for this specific project. Supervisor Gugino is correct that once completed in 5 days, so most that will shock you. We've talked to our contractors and so forth, and we thought they'd be downtime would be about 2 weeks, 2 months, but through their conversations, the parking lots as well as the trails can be completed in a minimum of 5 days with adequate weather. And once completed, it will become the first paved trail system within our current network. But to go back a little bit, a lot of thanks has to go for Parks and Recreation over the last 4.5 years. It has been one of the board's priorities to really address access to recreational services for all, regardless of ability and or age. A lot of those projects can be seen, whether it was the concrete tee pads and the 5 to 12-year-old playground that was installed at Spillman Park, to the acquisition of Mountain Run Lake Park and the construction of 4 pickleball courts, 14 athletic field lights at the Culpeper Sports Complex, and then the construction of the Culpeper County Fieldhouse. It has really been a priority of the board to increase quality of life services to the residents of this community. As the Parks and Recreation Director, to be honest, it has been an exciting time for this particular industry within this community. There are a lot of folks that we could sit and thank, and I would like to just take a moment to do that, to include the Board of Supervisors, our Parks and Rec Advisory Committee. I do believe we're represented by Mr. Lance Kilby of the Salem District here today. Our Recreation Foundation, they spearheaded again, talking about access to programs, a gala that generated over $197,000 to provide financial aid for those and eliminate barriers that prevent access to recreation. The beautiful thing about Parks and Rec, it is truly a community-based sector. It's quite poetic that we are here at Lenn Park, because it's not only the Parks and Rec Department in the county that makes this property as beautiful and successful as it is. The Rapidan River Master Gardeners maintain the pollinator garden just off to my left. The softball fields behind us over my right shoulder are home to the Co-ed Church Adult Softball League, and they populate that space along with 540 Athletics. The Canine Dog Park for small and large dog parks is utilized on a daily basis and has some of the best agility equipment that you're going to find. And the newest addition is hopefully coming this summer, that we've got brand new equipment that we are going to be populating that space with. The amphitheater is utilized by Winmore for a collection of arts programs that go on in the evening. The shelter, which we're under here today, is utilized by residents and non-residents alike for a variety of birthday parties, graduation parties, and other amazing celebrations that allow us to gather together as a community. The property also hosts countless special events. The Wicked Bottom 5K, which is coming up in just a handful of weeks. Girls on the Run utilizes it for a variety of programs. And then the Boy Scout camp all the way in the rear is utilized by overnight Boy Scout troops. This property as a whole represents the community, which is the beautiful nature of it. I see a gentleman sitting here to the front left, Mr. Brian Hoffman, representative of the Friends of the Rappahannock, and all the tree plantings that you see was supported through grants, through programs that we did in partnership with them, truly making this an actual park property. So this isn't just a county or a Parks and Recreation facility. This facility is Culpeper County, and I have to thank you all for that ahead of time. Beyond all of the nonprofits, organizations, user groups, I also have to extend thanks to, in my opinion, the best Parks and Recreation team in the state of Virginia. We touched on the look of this particular property, and it couldn't be done without y'all's tireless efforts. And I'll walk down the line as I see them. Ms. Tabitha Riley, our facilities and program supervisor, Ms. Samantha Whiteside, our recreation coordinator, April Coffey, our office manager, Holly Binkert, our athletics manager, and the leader of everything that you see out here, well manicured and groomed, Mr. Joe Kuntz, our park superintendent. Give it out for Joe. There we go. And then our maintenance tech 1, Steve Brock, and maintenance tech 2, Justin Warner, who's an absolute rock star as well. Folks that aren't here in attendance with us right now, maintenance tech 1, Greg Jenkins, maintenance tech 1, Andrew Hawkins, as well as his brother who's interning with us, Matthew Hawkins, and our athletics field specialist, Alex Laird. And again, this is a total team effort from county personnel all the way to volunteers, civic organizations, nonprofits, and we appreciate the support. So to dovetail it in, we appreciate Representative Spanberger for this support, because it really does dovetail nicely with the Board of Supervisors' mission of improving access to recreational services for all by making our trails more accessible to young, elderly, those with children, and get them circulating through our parks. So we're excited to see this project kick off extremely shortly and look to a bright future for Culpeper County Parks and Recreation. Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you. And with that, we come bearing 2 giant ceremonial checks, not legal tender in the bank. But I am so proud to present this here to Culpeper County. And I would ask that anyone who responded to an email from our team, who answered a question, who did any of the follow-up that allowed for us to work so closely with the Culpeper community to get these grants, please come up and we'll do a big group photo.